guys, this is Justine from Sacred Heart Homestead. I'm a mother to 6 and wife, homesteading in Ontario, Canada. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an Instant Pot yogurt recipe. I've tried a lot of yogurt recipes and I can honestly say this is the best one. We've had issues before with our yogurt recipes where some of them ended up tasting cowy or it wasn't quite the right texture, but this one turns out perfect every single time. I'm also going to be showing you how to make a muffin recipe from all that leftover whey you'll have at the end of the yogurt making process. Finally, we're going to be going out to our pasture and visiting with our cows. I'm going to introduce you to all the ladies and a few guys, and so you can get to know them. The cows are actually a big reason why we ended up moving to this specific property. Raw milk is not legal in Canada, and so if you want to drink it, you're going to have to get it for yourself from your own cows. And so this is how we ended up on our homestead. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have time, I would love it if you could hit that like button because it lets the YouTube algorithms know that my videos are good. And also, if you're new here, welcome. And if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I put out a new video every Thursday. Let's get to that yogurt.
The very first thing I do when I'm about to make yogurt is go to our back fridge and get some milk. We label all our jugs with the name of the cow and what date we got the milk on so we don't get it confused. Once I've got all the milk inside the house, I will skim the cream off the top of all the jugs of milk. Skimming the cream is something you need to do if you have non-homogenized or raw milk. If you are using store-bought milk, don't worry about this. It won't make a difference in the texture of your yogurt. This is just something I like to do at home because in our house, cream is gold and I don't want to waste any of it on yogurt. If you've never skimmed cream off of milk before, there's really no art to it. You just skim until there's no cream left. There's actually a part in Emily of New Moon where Emily goes and takes the cream off the top of the milk for her aunts, and neither of them noticed she did it because, like I said, there's really no art to it. Once I've skimmed the cream off of all the milk, I'll get my Instant Pot out and just start filling it. I wouldn't use less than a gallon of milk to do this, but I have used up to 2 gallons of milk. I go past the fill line because remember, we're not going to be pressurizing this milk. All we're going to be doing it is cooking it on the yogurt function, so it just needs to ferment at the correct temperature, and so that max fill line doesn't really matter. You can fill it up to the top as long as you're comfortable lifting the inner pot out. Once your pot is filled, you're going to put the lid on and you're going to hit the yogurt button twice until it reads boil. What this is going to do is bring the milk up to 180 degrees, essentially killing off any bacteria that's in there so it doesn't compete with the yogurt cultures, giving you a better yogurt result in the end. Depending on how much milk you put in there, it could take up to an hour to get it to the yogurt function, but once it gets there, the quickest way to get the yogurt dealt with is to fill your sink up with cold water, maybe about halfway, and then take the entire pot of yogurt, making sure you're not getting any water into it, and throw it in the sink. After about 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to want to check the temperature. The ideal temperature is between 105 to 115 degrees. Once it's within that realm, you're going to pull the pot out of the water and wipe it down so there's no more water left on it. Next up, you're going to get yourself some yogurt culture. Our favorite yogurt culture, and I've tried a lot of them, is this one right here, the ABY-2C yogurt culture. It's a little bit more expensive, but we've been on this specific bottle for almost 1.5 years, and you're only going to use about not even 1/8 of a teaspoon in it. Just sprinkle it on top of the milk and then let it sit for a few seconds and whisk it in as well as you can. I've tried the method before where you just take some yogurt from the store and use it, and I felt like the yogurt flavor wasn't strong enough and it was combating some of the milk. And so now we just use the yogurt culture and I get the result that I want each and every time. With the yogurt culture added to your milk, you can put your inner pot back inside the Instant Pot, close it, and hit the yogurt button again until you get it to fermenting. Our favorite amount of time to ferment it is 10 hours, but you can do about 6 to 8 hours and get the same kind of results depending on how tangy you like your yogurt. And now this is later on at night. This is what the yogurt looks like. I'm just going to show you the thickness of it. It's still quite warm. So you're going to want to take this yogurt pot and put it in the refrigerator overnight or for about 8 hours just to cool down. At this point, you've made yogurt, congratulations. But we like to take the extra step and strain out our yogurt so that it's a little bit thicker, more like a Greek yogurt. It actually ups the protein content in your yogurt to do this, so it's well worth it if you're looking for a really protein heavy snack. To do this, I just take a pot and a colander and some cheesecloth, and I dump the entire contents of the yogurt into it. You have to be quite quick to catch the yogurt not going down the sides if you made a large pot of yogurt like I did. And I put this in my fridge for another, I'd say about 12 hours. I actually forgot I was making yogurt, and so this is the next day. The yellow liquid you see sitting in the big bowl is the whey that came out from the yogurt. So just like in the nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet, her curds and whey, that's whey. It can come from cheese making or yogurt making. And I use it for multiple different things. Next, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make muffins with some of that leftover whey, but we'll also use it for oatmeal, for smoothies, to make wheymonade, which is a lemonade using whey, and just to soak some grains or beans or anything like that. So we do use all of our whey most of the time, and if you have no use for it, you can actually throw it in the garden as long as there's no salt in it, and it helps your plants grow. Now we are going to get some muffins going. So I've ground my own wheat berries. I used red fife in this specific recipe, but you can use any kind of flour you'd like. There are nutritional benefits to using freshly ground flour, but if you don't have a grain mill, don't even worry about it. Use whatever kind of flour you can. To that I added a cup of oats. So that was 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of oats, and then 1 whole cup of whey and 1 cup of milk. And mix all that together, and you're going to let that sit on your counter for 8 to 12 hours or overnight like I did. I make an effort to soak all our grains because it increases their digestibility. If that's not something you want to do, that's fine. Just make it the day of. You don't have to let things sit overnight if that is not something that you are interested in. I wanted to take a break from all the yogurt making and the baking and just take you guys out to our pasture where our cows are. Last video I did, I think it was the day in the life video, I showed you guys briefly the cows, but I did not get up close. And this time around, I just wanted to show you who our cows are. This is our property. We get all the way to the tree line. We're on 15 acres, so this is the right side of it. And this is the tractor that keeps getting stuck everywhere. So currently it's waiting on a part, but we will get that fixed soon enough. And standing next to the tractor is our beautiful little Mabel. Mabel is half Jersey, half Canadienne. She's our newest born on the farm addition. She was born in September, so she's about 5 months old now. And we are hoping to keep her as a 3rd dairy cow once she's grown and trained. Over here is Ferdinand. He's almost 2 years old. He was born on the farm as well. He's half Jersey and half Speckled Park. He is one of our meat steers. So he's going to the butcher in August of this year. And so we're just hanging out with him until the end of his days, I guess. And this is Buttercup over here. She's also half Speckled Park and half Canadienne. She's very sweet as well. She was very skittish when she was born, but she's really warmed up to us. Yeah, she's very cute. She's coming up to me and just saying hi, which is not something she used to do, but now she does. And so it's really lovely having her around. Over here is Henny May. She is the boss cow, probably because of the horns. We got her from the farmer that we get our meat from. They sold her to us. She's half Jersey, half Simmental, and we do milk her. And she is actually 4 months pregnant now, which is exciting. So that means that she'll be back in milk in June, and that will be some more milk for us. And over here, perpetually at the feeder, is her daughter Annabelle. Annabelle's almost 1 year old. She is a meat cow through and through. She's 1/4 Jersey and then 3/4 Simmental, and all she wants to do is eat. Before moving on, I just wanted to show you guys the back of Honey May, because you can clearly see the calf sitting on the right side. You can tell she's a little bit lopsided, and so left is lunch and right is runt, and that's where the calf sits. Moving ahead is our last cow. She is one of the OGs on our farm. This is Pistache, and she's a Canadienne. Canadienne cattle are a rare breed. They were actually bred for their hardiness and sturdiness for the Canadian winters. And because they started breeding them out and mixing them, now there are less than 1,000 full-bred Canadiennes in the whole world. And so now they're making a comeback, and we are lucky enough to have one. I can't say enough good things about this breed. The milk is delicious. It doesn't have that cowy taste that Jersey milk sometimes have. She's extremely hardy. She doesn't eat much. She's just a great cow to have, and we're hoping to breed more of her, but it's really hard to get any kind of Canadienne semen because there are so few of these cows left. And so if you're in the market for a cow, I highly recommend this breed, especially if you're in a colder climate like us. And here's our Sheba again, my constant companion. She really hates the cows, and she's nervous every time I come near them. So she was patiently waiting for me in the snow, waiting for me to be done filming these cows, and she's ready for pets and to get away from these guys because she just does not like them. The last addition on our farm is John Dory, the little calf we brought in. He's been here for about 3 weeks, and he's still in isolation, but we're hoping to get him out with the rest of the cows soon. And he's doing great. This is a few days later. I wanted to show you guys that my husband did get the tractor out of the field finally. It ended up being like a few days of him working on it and going to the store back and forth and ordering parts in, and just a big headache, but I really commend him for getting it out of the field and getting it working. There were a few times where he would come inside after working on the tractor in the cold for a few hours, and I thought, this is it, he's gonna give up. But he didn't, so I'm so proud of him. So since the muffins are ready to be baked and I'm feeling a little tired this afternoon, I thought I'd light a candle and make this more of a relaxing kind of baking session. I find if I'm not looking forward to a chore or doing dishes or something like that, if I kind of light a candle and put some music on, then I can kind of like pump myself up and I'm able to get to it. Once the muffins have been fermenting overnight, I will put a cup of coconut oil and I'll just melt it down on the stove. While it's melting down, I'll add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, some cinnamon, 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I know that seems a lot, but you need it for these muffins. And 4 eggs, mix it all together. And once that's done, I will add some zucchini because we are making zucchini chocolate chip muffins. I forgot to say I also added a cup of sugar to these muffins, which is funny because I often forget to put the sugar into these muffins and the kids complain like, oh, these muffins are gross. So yeah, don't forget the sugar. Some zucchini I had frozen. I just let it thaw out and then I drain out all the water so it's not too wet. Does anybody else keep growing too much zucchini? Like every year I plant one less plant and it still manages to be too much zucchini for me. And when the plant finally dies down, I have a party. Like, I'm so excited. The zucchini has died. I know it's bad. I really need to figure out how much zucchini I actually need to plant so I don't have to make zucchini stuff all the time. Like, we freeze so much of it, like you can see in this recipe. And we use it to make like zucchini pancakes and stuff like that. And still, I'm always just drowning in zucchini. So maybe I'll go down to one plant this year, but knowing me, I will plant too many plants again. And then I'll be on here complaining about the fact that I have too much zucchini and it's taking over my life. Once everything is combined, I put the zucchini mix in muffin tins. I added about a cup of chocolate chips to this, and I think that was sufficient because we use mini chocolate chips and I don't want my kids sugared up all the time, so this is enough, good enough. This recipe will fill 2 trays, so it'll make about 24 muffins. You can cut it in half if you would like less muffins. I will put the recipe in the description notes so you guys can hold on to that one. And then it goes into a 350 degree oven for 25-ish minutes. You'll be able to tell they're ready when they're kind of browning on the top. After I take them out of the oven, I let them cool off a little bit in the muffin tins, and then after about 10 minutes, I'll take them out and just let them cool down on a baking rack. It wouldn't be a video about dairy if I didn't show you guys the most common way we consume milk, and that's chocolate milk. My recipe isn't hard. You add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1/4 cup of hot water, mix it together, pour it into a 1/2 gallon of milk, and there you go, you have chocolate milk. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already and want to see more of this content. And I will be back next week with another video. Thanks for watching.